flapper was a casualty of the stock market crash of 1929. Out of her ashes rose the femme fatale. At night, she was a modern Diana in bias-cut satin dresses that swept to the floor. By day, she might play with a surrealist fashion moment by Elsa Schiaparelli. Then war came and removed frivolity from fashion. Hemlines were getting longer before the great crash of 1929. They fell to the floor after that debacle and stayed there for quite a while. The long sculptural silhouette was built along classic lines that emphasized the figure. Madeleine Vionnet used diagonal bias-cutting technique to make dresses that were sensuously molded to the body. Perfection like this is not easy to come by. Simplicity, noted Vogue, is a complex art. The kismet that brought Prince Edward to an American divorcee named Wallis Simpson was a complicated affair. After the prince abandoned his throne for Simpson, their romance was well chronicled in Vogue by John McMullen, the magazine's as seen by him columnist, and Cecil Beaton, who were part of the royal entourage. Before she married her prince in a Wallis blue Mambolche design, Beaton famously captured the future Duchess posing in looks by Elsa Schiaparelli, including the lobster dress, hand-painted by Salvador Dali. Dali and the influence of the Surrealists were pervasive in the 30s. Like the phony war that preceded major action on the Western Front, the movement captured the tension and strangeness of the time. Elsa Schiaparelli, the Paris-based Italian couturier and Chanel's nemesis, was most closely associated with Surrealism, and she aligned herself with artists such as Jean Cocteau and Marcel Vert. Surrealist art made its way into Vogue, too. Dali became a frequent contributor. Cecil Beaton incorporated elements of the movement style into some of his photographs as well. There weren't many women working among the star artists at Vogue during the 1930s, which included photographers Horst P. Horst, Cecil Beaton, and the illustrator Christian Berard, all of whom had a keen appreciation of fashion. Then came Toni Frisell, a young, well-connected American who joined the staff as a caption writer but ended up as a photographer. She brought a distinctive wholesomeness, youth, and breath of fresh air to the pages of the magazine. Frisell was one of the few photographers at Vogue who shot outdoors. Vogue put its stamp of approval on pajamas in the 1920s, and they continued to be endorsed in the 30s. It was during this decade that pants started making their way out of the boudoir as well, becoming acceptable for casual resort wear.